The two shoulders that I was standing on right now, I just hugged them on the way. I stand on many, many shoulders, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here and welcome you all. Thank you very much for joining us here in Hyderabad. I want to really hear Krish, and I'm going to really cut this as short as I can, and I know it's already... one of my favorite teachers is Lao Tzu, who, although I never met him, I read about him, and I'm reading the 27th verse of his book, Living the Wisdom of the Tao. And this is actually a translation by Dr. Wayne Dyer, who's another favorite master teacher. It says, the 27th verse, and it's very deep and profound, "A knower of the truth travels without leaving a trace, speaks without causing harm, gives without keeping an account. The door he shuts, though having no lock, cannot be opened. The knot he ties, though using no cord, cannot be undone. Be wise and help all beings impartially, abandoning none. Waste no opportunities. This is called following the light." What is a good man but a bad man's teacher? What is a bad man but a good man's job? If the teacher is not respected and the student not cared for, confusion will arise, however clever one is. This is the great secret. I stand here on the shoulders of many of my teachers. One who was most dear to me and who passed away earlier this year, Molly Ibrahim. And some of you would have watched the Molly teacher video. But each one of us are nation builders. Each one of us are more important than any other professional out there. IC3 has a simple goal. You can see it all around: counseling in every school, purpose for every child. We've broken that down into 3 goals: SGD. Or sorry, I'm confusing you with SGD, but it is SED, which is sensitize, elevate, and develop. We have a lot of work to do to make counseling a central function in schools around the world. Counseling is still a peripheral function, or it is not a function at all. We're doing a great job with teaching math and English in schools, but we're not doing very well with counseling yet. So sensitizing, elevating the profession. How many of us remember a doctor you met when you were in 8th grade, a body doctor who gave you an injection? With a show of hands. How many of you remember a teacher you met in 8th grade or 9th grade or 10th grade? The body doctor's forgotten in 6 days. The teacher is the sole doctor, remembered for 60 years. Each one of you should have a doctor title ahead in front of your name if you don't have it already. Because we're all sole doctors. We're going to have a 60-year oversized impact on society. And we want to be able to elevate our profession. This venue should not just belong to the greatest ophthalmologists and the gynecologists. This grandeur is as much deserved by the teacher as it is by any other professional. Teachers make the politician, teachers make the doctors, teachers make the engineers, teachers make the lawyers. And I refused to do IC3 conferences under a tent because we didn't have money to start with, etc. We just went ahead and wanted to let you know how important you are, often through the venue. And then develop the human resources. That's another one of our goals. And this year we're going to graduate close to 400 teachers through a one-year program. Can we hear it, all the IC3 graduates today? 200 of them here physically, 200 of them virtually. Thank you for having the humility to go through this exercise of unlearning and relearning. The pandemic in schools is boredom among children and seriousness amongst educators. So I'd invite you to relax a little bit. Drop the masks a little bit during this conference. Let the smile come out a little more. And as you can see, we have no VIPs here. Everybody's a VIP. There was no special sofa. Everybody's sitting on the same chair. First come, first serve. And I want you to know that we intend to stay that way. The last piece I want to leave you with is the very definition of counseling. The reason we have so many university and school leaders here is because we are able to reimagine the very definition of counseling, career and college counseling, through the counseling laboratory pedagogy that we advocate. Counseling is about context. Counseling is about learning outcomes. Counseling is about well-being. And I'm talking about career and college counseling. Counseling is about attention spans that are shrinking. Counseling impacts virtually every area in school. Career and college counseling is not about finding a career or finding a college. It is about finding purpose. Not finding life purpose, but finding purpose in everyday life. You know how many of us, I was sharing yesterday, how many of us loved it when school declared an off and it would rain heavily and we don't have school? And tell me with all honesty, how many of you rejoiced when somebody died and school was shut down? Can you imagine that part of our life when we're growing up, when we want to explore video games and we want to explore all the other pieces, we are so curious and so interested, and we don't want to go to school. So many kids. Can you imagine in India in 2021, we had more students commit suicide than farmers? And this is not because we didn't do a good job with teaching. This is because we just didn't treat counseling the way it needed to be treated. And so I invite all of us that are here today to become one with this mission. We are not intending, I'm just one of 1,400 volunteers. I would not want to, I'd really like to see all of us get involved, find out from us how you can get involved. We're grateful for your presence. These 2 days, there's plenty of gold dust that will be sprinkled around this venue. If you really like jewelry, particularly the ladies, although the men also started to wear some really good jewelry these days, grab as much gold dust as you can. Gold dust is being scattered in 8 or 9 rooms every hour. Multiple breakout sessions. If you gather enough, if you just brush it away because it's dusty, you'd have probably very little left. But if you can gather all of it, you can leave this venue either with a bracelet or a nice chain or something that you can show to people on Friday morning when you go back to your lives. So please collect all the gold dust, and thank you very much once again for being here, to all our colleagues from all around the world. Thank you.